Hello everyone. Today, we are embarking on an epic journey through time, exploring the top 10 largest empires in history. These colossal empires have shaped our world and civilizations. So, let's dive in. 10. The Xiongnu Empire. At its peak in 176 BC, the Xiongnu Empire covered an area of 9 million square kilometers, which was about 6.68% of the world's land. The Xiongnu Empire was a formidable force that emerged as a nomadic pastoral tribe, forming a vast tribal league that held sway over much of Central Asia for over 500 years. Their presence first became known in Chinese historical records around the 5th century BCE, when their relentless invasions led the smaller kingdoms of North China to commence the construction of what would eventually become the Great Wall. The Xiongnu's threat to China escalated after the 3rd century BCE, following the formation of a widespread tribal confederation under a ruler known as the Xiongnu. Renowned for their fierce mounted warriors, the Xiongnu could rally as many as 300,000 horseback archers for their periodic incursions into North China. However, in 51 BCE, the empire underwent a significant split into two factions, an eastern horde, which capitulated to the Chinese, and a western horde, which was pushed into Central Asia. 9. The Yuan dynasty. The Yuan dynasty, at its zenith in 1310, ruled over 11 million square kilometers, which is about 8.16% of the world's land. The Yuan dynasty, established by the prominent Mongol leader Kublai Khan, who was the grandson of Genghis Khan, was a remarkable period in history. It was the first dynasty in the world to use paper currency as the main medium of exchange. In the 1280s, Kublai Khan commanded 3 million people to extend the Grand Canal to reach his capital in Beijing, demonstrating his immense power and influence. The Yuan dynasty was notable for its vast size, humble origins, the introduction of paper money, the creation of the largest armadas, advanced technology, monumental overspending, and significant natural disasters. Despite its might, the dynasty faced challenges, such as when Kublai Khan sent 2 armadas to invade Japan, only to be thwarted by unfavorable weather conditions. 8. The Umayyad Caliphate. The Umayyad Caliphate, at its greatest extent in 720, spanned 11.1 million square kilometers, which is about 8.24% of the world's land. The Umayyad Caliphate, the second of the 4 major Islamic caliphates, emerged as a significant power after the death of Prophet Muhammad. Established in Arabia, the Umayyads ruled the Islamic world from 661 to 750 CE. The Umayyads, a largely merchant family of the Quraysh tribe centered at Mecca, initially resisted Islam, not converting until 627. However, they subsequently became prominent administrators under Muhammad and his immediate successors. The Umayyad Caliphate was the first great Muslim dynasty to rule the empire of the Caliphate. Despite its might and vast territorial holdings, the dynasty was eventually toppled by the Abbasids in 750. 7. The Abbasid Caliphate. The Abbasid Caliphate, at its peak in 750, covered 11.1 million square kilometers, which was about 8.24% of the world's land. The Abbasid Caliphate, the third caliphate to succeed the Islamic prophet Muhammad, was a significant era in Islamic history. Founded by a dynasty descended from Muhammad's uncle, Abbas ibn Abd al-Muttalib, the Abbasids ruled as caliphs for most of the caliphate from their capital in Baghdad. The Abbasid Caliphate first centered its government in Kufa, but in 762 the Caliph al-Mansur founded the city of Baghdad, near the ancient Sumerian and Akkadian city of Babylon. During this period, known as the Golden Age of Islam, Baghdad became a thriving center of science, culture, and invention. The Abbasid period was marked by reliance on Persian bureaucrats for governing the territories and an increasing inclusion of non-Arab Muslims in the Ummah, national community. The Abbasid Caliphate was not only a political and military power but also a center of learning, attracting scholars, scientists, and artists from all over the world. 6. The Second French Colonial Empire. At its peak in 1920, the French colonial empire covered 11.5 million square kilometers, which was about 8.53% of the world's land. The Second French Colonial Empire was a significant period in world history, marking France's reassertion as a global power. Established from 1830 until the mid-20th century, the empire consisted of colonial territories seized by France. Unlike the first colonial empire, which was primarily based in North America and the Caribbean, the Second French Colonial Empire was primarily based in Africa, with some new parts in Asia. Despite its vast territorial holdings, the empire faced widespread unrest in the colonies after World War II, forcing France to grant them independence. Today, the Second French colonial empire consists of French Guiana and some small islands in the Caribbean, Indian Ocean, and South Pacific. This empire was not only a political and military power but also a center of cultural exchange and economic growth. 5. The Spanish Empire. The Spanish Empire, at its height in 1810, covered 13.7 million square kilometers, which is about 10.17% of the world's land. The Spanish Empire, one of the largest empires in the world, was a testament to Spain's immense power and influence during the Age of Discovery. Established after the voyages of Christopher Columbus, the empire spanned 3 centuries, covering territories across all continents. The Spanish Empire was the first to be referred to as the empire on which the sun never sets, reflecting its vast territorial holdings that spanned various time zones. The empire was not only a political and military powerhouse but also a significant economic force, benefiting from favorable factor endowments in its overseas possessions with their large, exploitable indigenous populations and rich mining areas. Despite its decline in the late 19th century, the Spanish Empire left a lasting legacy, including the widespread use of the Spanish language, which is now spoken by about 570 million people worldwide. 4. The Qing Dynasty. The Qing Dynasty, also known as the Manchu Dynasty, at its zenith in 1790, ruled over 14.7 million square kilometers, which is about 10.91% of the world's land. The Qing Dynasty, spanning from 1636 to 1912, was a pivotal period in China's history, marked by its unique origins, vast territorial expansion, and encounters with domestic rebellions and foreign powers. Established by the Manchu ethnic group, the dynasty traced its roots back to the northeastern region of China known as Manchuria. The Manchus were a distinct ethnic group with their own language and cultural traditions. The dynasty's foundation marked a significant departure from China's previous Han Chinese dynasties. The Qing dynasty endured for almost 3 centuries, making it one of China's longest reigning dynasties. Its rule witnessed a wide array of political, social, and cultural changes, as well as interactions with neighboring countries and Western powers. The Kangxi Emperor, one of its most renowned rulers, is often associated with stability, economic growth, and cultural flourishing. Under his rule, the Qing dynasty expanded its territory, suppressed rebellions, and maintained diplomatic relations with foreign powers. The dynasty gradually incorporated various regions into its empire, including Tibet, Xinjiang, and Taiwan. However, it also faced challenges such as the Opium Wars and the establishment of treaty ports. 3. The Russian Empire. The Russian Empire, at its peak in 1895, spanned 22.8 million square kilometers, which is about 16.92% of the world's land. The Russian Empire, a historical empire that spanned across Eurasia, was a testament to Russia's immense power and influence. Founded on November 2, 1721, when the Russian Senate conferred the title of Emperor of all the Russias upon Peter I, the empire marked a significant era in world history. The empire had its genesis when the Russian nobility sought a new bloodline for its monarchy. They found it in Michael Romanov, a young boyar, nobleman, who was elected Tsar in 1613. The early Romanovs were weak monarchs, but they left behind a good reputation among the people. The Russian Empire was not only a political and military powerhouse but also a significant economic force. Despite its decline in the late 19th century, the Russian Empire left a lasting legacy, including the widespread use of the Russian language, which is now spoken by about 260 million people worldwide. 2. The Mongol Empire. The Mongol Empire, at its peak in 1270 or 1309, stretched over 24 million square kilometers, which is about 17.81% of the world's land. The Mongol Empire, founded by Genghis Khan in 1206, was a formidable force that reshaped the contours of the world. Originating from the Mongol heartland in the steppe of Central Asia, the empire spanned from the Pacific Ocean in the east to the Danube River and the shores of the Persian Gulf in the west. At its peak, it covered an astonishing 9 million square miles, making it the largest contiguous land empire in world history. The Mongols were renowned for their military prowess, with their skilled horse riders, swimmers, archers, and swordsmen instilling fear in their adversaries. Despite their reputation for ruthlessness in battle, the Mongols were also known for their nomadic lifestyle and their significant contributions to culture and technology. The Mongol Empire, with its humble beginnings and vast territorial holdings, left an indelible mark in history. 1. The British Empire. At its zenith in 1920, the British Empire was the largest empire in history, covering a staggering 35.5 million square kilometers, which is about 26.35% of the world's land. The British Empire, the largest empire in history, was a testament to Britain's immense power and influence. It began with the overseas possessions and trading posts established by England between the late 16th and early 18th centuries. The empire was essentially a private enterprise, made by missionaries, settlers, merchants, and financiers. The British believed that their empire was a liberal empire and a force for good, and that violence was the price to pay for redeeming people from barbarism. Despite its decline in the late 19th century, the British Empire left a lasting legacy, including the widespread use of the English language, which is now spoken by about 1.5 billion people worldwide. These colossal empires have left indelible marks on our world, shaping cultures, economies, and civilizations. Their legacies continue to influence the world we live in today. Stay tuned for more exciting historical content and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, keep exploring.